And here we are, back at the colony. Last month we spent it exploring and getting things that we needed to for Cal and Socks. And while we're here, before we say anything, let's see if we can possibly maybe find anything. No, nothing, no collectibles. Okay, well then, let's talk to Cal. You find Cal excitedly drag him to the barn where he keeps his pet dillypiller. I brought some plants for Socks to try. You tell Cal about the dillypiller you saw in the plains. She's really gonna get that big? Cal breathes. He looks as worried as you feel. You lay out the native plants for Socks to try. She sniffs each one, nibbles one, then another. She rejects all the grasses and twigs. Cal groans and pulls his hair. Last up is the orange flower. There are some dirty rocks attached to its roots, and when you brush them off, it attracts her attention. She crawls onto your arm, sniffs closer at the rocks, then tentatively licks one. Then she squeaks with joy and puts it in her mouth. So it was eating the rocks. Well, I guess on Earth, animals like goats and stuff like salt licks. No, Socks, that's not food, Cal exclaims. Then you hear her grinding away at it with her teeth. She does have very big molars. They almost look like they were made of crystal rather than bone. Wait, do you have diamond teeth? You take a closer look at the rocks. They seem to be the same iridescent mineral as the cliff. You give it a lick, but it doesn't taste like anything. You both shrug. This is the happiest Cal has seen Socks in weeks. You guess she needs some rocks in her diet. Hey, Cal. Cal is digging up something in the vegetable garden. Okay. I found something for you. Actually, I have 4 yellow flowers, so here, have one. And I'm feeling pretty stressed, so I think I'm gonna relax in the park with Cal. Udicott likes to spend time in the garden. Out of everyone here, she's spent the most years on Earth. Already a grandmother by the time the stratospheric even left the planet, her family is still planet-side, if they're even alive. You watch her tilt her face to the sun, a gentle smile in her expression. She lived a lot of life and want to live out the rest of it here on Vertumna. Okay. And feast. I don't really want to forget either of those cards. And now it's the wet season. We'll see what we can find, like a ripe blue bobber fruit. I wonder if now we can maybe possibly explore. Hi, Dees. Have you heard the stories about the changelings? Dees muses, scrolling through a book of mythology on his holopalm. Old Earth humans used to think that fairies would steal human babies and replace them with their own. He scratches his cheek. Do you think that happened with me and Tang? I think that would explain a lot. Sometimes it feels like I'm not even really human. Oh. Dees. Oh, nope, we can still only see the plains. So let's go see maybe xenobotany? Is there anything we can do there? You're really in the groove, much on Dayglow, roasted pixie beans, and just feeling good. Like everything is going right for once. You catch yourself giggling for no reason. For fun, you decide to put a pixie bean through the analyzer. Sure, your dad already studied them, but there's gotta be a lot of stuff you still don't know about them. Like, you only just discovered today how incandescently delicious they are roasted. Maybe you can even figure out why they glow. Then you can make everything glow. The analyzer spits out a bunch of info, and congruence helps you interpret it. She says, as if she needs to ponder anything. These readings are different than the initial ones, suggesting possible amplification with certain hormones for higher bioreactivity in situ. In regular words, congruence, please. Pardon me, Solana. I mean, they might mess with human brain functions under some conditions. We should perform the analysis again. This sounds important. You run more samples of roasted pixie beans through the analyzer, but you only get more frustrated. Are you certain these are clean samples? Congruence asks. I'm detecting anomalies with the readings. Excuse me for asking, but have you washed your hands? You, Congruence, of course you have. Maybe it's because... Possibly. I wonder... Because it was roasted? You don't know what to do. You try everything, even scrubbing the beans clean with acid. Congruence reverts to her most robotic, focused entirely on figuring out this puzzle. When her normally chipper voice goes monotone and cold, it makes you feel so lost. You're never going to get this right. You start to feel tears pricking at your eyes. But we need to figure out what was going on. You wipe your eyes and try to focus. Once the samples are finally scanned, you help Congruence run simulations to see what effect the pixie beans might have on different types of brain chemistry. Do you have permission to do this, Solana? It requires significant power, she asks. You wave your hands at her. Of course, sure, whatever, you giggle. No one's here to stop you, right? Processing all that simulation data makes the greenhouse lights flicker. You might get in trouble for that later, but what do you care? You're doing science. Congruence chews on the results for, well, less time than it would have taken you, but still an appreciable amount of time for her, a supercomputer. She says finally. Solana, have you been feeling not yourself lately? As if your thoughts and your reactions are more dramatic, even more so than usual? Well, now that you think about it... Obviously, we test for toxicity before we clear native plants for consumption, Congruence continues, but there are limitations. For example, accounting for hormonal fluctuations of people undergoing puberty. Congruence explains that there seems to be a chemical in the pixie beans that hyperbonds the estrogen and testosterone, and the combination of molecules activated receptors in your brain way more than just the hormones alone. The chemical will build up over weeks at first, then it's going to hit a flashpoint, and you look at the beans, and you've been munching all afternoon, all week. Uh-oh. You call your dad to take a look at your findings. There's no way. He mutters as he scrolls his hollow palm, then he stops. Well, I'll be Gemini'd. How are you feeling, Solana? You look over from where you've been balancing a sample beaker on your forehead. The beaker slides off and you bounce it off your knee a few times before catching it. Then you burst out laughing for no reason at all. Your dad blinks at you. Well, that answers my question. We've got to stop eating those beans right now. Your dad looks distraught. Flulu was right, he says, collapsing in a nearby chair, rubbing his eyes. She didn't trust these things, but she's going to be pissed that we don't have another successful food source. You look at him in shock. You hardly ever see him swear. It must be worse than you think. Your dad sits in silence for a long time. Okay. I guess we can do 1, 2, 3, 4. 4? Nope. Okay. We can switch these, and that's 22. And now it's the mid-wet season. Let's see if Dad has anything to say about what's happened. You spot your dad lying on the ground in the soft grass, looking at the sky. He zooms his hand across the field of vision like a spaceship, then looks over with a dreamy smile. Hey kiddo, he says. Sometimes I can't believe we're back on solid ground. After 20 years in space, it still doesn't feel real. Okay. Hey Cal. Cal takes a deep breath and lets it out in a huge sigh. I love the smell of air here, he says. It's not clean like the Strato, but it's fresh, if you know what I mean. It smells like dirt and compost and manure and growing things. When I breathe it in, it's just... He takes another breath. It reminds me that everything here is alive and important. Yeah. I don't see anything to collect this month, so... Did we get animals from working on the farm? No, but we did get toughness. I'd like to work on animals more, so... We are nearing glow season again. Hey, Anemone! You wanna train together? You used to be able to go mano a mano with Anemone, but she's been training hard. You get your butt kicked all over the sports ball pitch. She leans over you while you're laying on the floor, completely gassed. You okay? She laughs. I didn't go too hard, right? Let's see. Defense training also gives us combat and animals, so I think maybe we'll do that this month. Anemone's big brother Calm teaches karate techniques to the class. Kicks, punches, flips, all the cool stuff. He's much more calm than Security Chief Brett, and takes time to connect with you instead of just relying on intimidation. You kind of wish he was Chief of Security instead. Maybe one day. Rhett can't be a boss forever, right? Calm organizes your first karate tournament. Well, he doesn't call it a tournament, but it's more like an exhibition to show off how far everyone has come in their training. There's informational sparring matches and feats of strength, like high kick challenges and breaking boards. Despite Calm's best intentions, Anemone is absolutely taking this like a competition. She takes her place next to you at the board break station and gives you a challenging look, tossing her unruly hair over her shoulder. Is it on? Sure. You break boards until your hands are red and sore, but it's no competition. Anemone chews through those boards like they're made of soy bars. Anemone is encouraging. You're getting good. You just have to focus your power through your body more. Like, it's not just your hand doing the work, she says, slapping you on the back. How are her hands not even sore? It was close, though. It wasn't, really, but it's nice she said so. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 26. And now, it's the late wet season. A little nervous, because that means next month is glow season. We can look around some more for some things, but I'm not seeing anything, so guess we'll head back over to Cal. Oh, 80. I need 80. Cal is digging up something from the garden, creating a neat little stack of vegetables. I think since I have been going out more, I would like to work on animals some more. Plus, it is glow season next month. So, well, maybe we could do defense training again next month, and then work on some toughness and biology this month. You play the recording of the squeaking bounce weasels for your mom and Cal. You sure this is going to work? She asks. When it's done, it sounds annoying. You swear it'll work. You saw it while you were exploring. It might not sound like much, but there were huge dwarf moths were terrified the little bounce weasels hunting calls, and with good reason. You set up a speaker system and play the recording all night. The next day, there's no sign of the dwarf moth. Your crops are completely safe. I think it worked, Cal says, sounding relieved. Solana, you're a genius! You're just glad all your hard work isn't going to feeding those pesky moths anymore. More food for the colony! Okay. So, 3, 3, 4, 4, and 25. And now it's glow season. I guess we'll see what happens next time.